Thanks everyone for taking out time for our session. And now this clapping exercise has energized all of us. So uh, lots to talk about. Good to see you all, some of you familiar. And Karan Bhati, I was telling him this morning, great lineup. Looking forward to hear everyone's thoughts. It takes a lot of effort to, it's easier to get 1,000 likes on your post than getting 100 people in a room these days. So a big applause to Karan Bhatia and team. Why not? Is he even here or is he still running around? All right, so I have a great panel with me. We just met outside, and I have on my left Mansi Ahuja from M Pro Marketing and Kamaljit Singh Randhawa from Basic Home Loan, Vice President Marketing. And Mansi, of course, Principal of M Pro. Am I pronouncing it right? Superb. I do have some pictures to show. Can we show those pictures? If you found my... Okay, you have. So we are here discussing how marketing communications is evolving. And I want to show you a few pictures. I picked some 5-7 pictures from last 1 year. And if you look at them now and discuss, you realize how simple acts, simple focused actions have become great narratives. All right? So this one, of course, Prime Minister of India visiting two countries opposing in a war to each other, shows up in Russia, shows up in Ukraine. Amazing narrative he set. And I think it was really useful a few months later when many more conflicts came up, and particularly something on our own borders. So that proved India to be more independent, peace-loving, being able to talk to all sides, like a leader, sovereign country. I think that was an amazing action. Okay, let me talk about a few more actions. So this was Prime Minister last year, I think almost a year now. Can we go to the next picture, please? All right, weddings as statements. And I was just telling Mansi how a family owning an oil company a few years back turned to a consumer-facing company and decided to show it all, be it all in public. Every emotion was on social media. A lot of people didn't like it, but I would say this was a bold decision for someone who wanted to show that we are also humans. So I think being humane is a big theme in marketing communications. And of course, then Adani family also comes up and says, we are going to spend that big an amount on charity to make this wedding memorable. So weddings have become great statements. And by the way, we all grew up in this Indian society, where weddings were always a very big statement in family and societies. So that's there. Please, let's quickly move to next one. This is all just to remind you guys, perhaps Mr. Tata's last tweet. And there's this whole, like some of us would write it for our clients or our teams or for our companies or our brands, this huge statement signed by him, but one line on top of it. Thank you for thinking of me. When 1 million people are trolling or genuinely talking about your death, how do you respond? You tell, oh, thank you. Aapne mere baare mein socha. And I think with this one line, the leader he was left a great impression and perhaps did a favor to his brand for next 1,000 years. On the other hand, Bhavish's tweet, with all due respect to him, I love his brands, but I think this statement straight away fell into the lap of Kunal Kamra and no one others. I mean, he was already in a crisis, but how do you really respond to Kunal Kamra? Not by this tweet, that I'll pay you for this. Do you really pay for someone to keep quiet? You want to really become a brand like that? No. So simple acts and simple statements leave a great narrative, a big narrative that can have positive or negative impact on your brand. So I thought I will share these pictures with you. Couple of more pictures quickly. Here we go. By the way, the right picture, perhaps you will think of it as Iran or Ukraine or... No. That burning object is a Tesla car. More than 100 places people burn Tesla cars. And I think this handshake for Mr. Musk was really, really expensive. And obviously then it showed later in his behavior, in his change of stand, change of heart perhaps. I see that as impact of these, these customers going away, stock market prices going down, etc., etc. So, a political action turned into a big narrative which didn't work for his business. He said, no, I want to take care of my business. Quickly, next one. This one. So if you stand for a cause and that cause makes you big, and then you ditch that cause, no matter how genuine you are, I don't know right, wrong. I'm just saying the whole Kejriwal narrative was built on Aam Aadmi and the common man's power and his hardship and his tapasya to live a great life and leave a legacy for children, etc., etc. And the whole narrative went down just by one house that was BJP calling it as Sheesh Mahal. We have the result already out. So I think that's it. These are a few pictures I wanted to talk about. And that's why, so I think, what was it? What was it? What is the message? Who is delivering it? And is there an action to support your message? Not PR. The entire message has to be supported by a strong action. That's how you do PR or communication. That's my personal view. Thank you so much for these pictures. We can go back to our, yes, all these stalwarts here. So let me ask you, Mansi first. Mansi handles a very unique business. Like she was telling me, I just don't build brands or businesses, I build categories. Mansi, what's the big trend? And maybe even before I ask you, can I ask you the human part of it? The human touch in business and communication and marketing. Isn't that a very big trend now?
Absolutely, Mehraj, because, my business, it is absolutely a unique format that we operate. So I represent the World Macadamia Organization, Australian Avocados. So I work in promoting premium food products in the country. So the products that I'm promoting, people have not even heard about it. Of course, now we are seeing avocados growing as a category. And when we introduced macadamias in 2023, people didn't even know what macadamia nuts were. Like, we've all grown up eating normal almonds, pistachios. Nobody knew what macadamias were. So I think our niche was to first create a need and then to build this category. And we do not follow the normal, regular way of how TV advertisement or print advertising. What we did, we actually reached out to the consumer, told them to taste. What do they think? And based on that, we formed a strategy in the country. And so, what is really important is the consumer today is not interested in just facts and figures or just a mere brochure. They want to know the story. They want to have an emotional connect with your brand or your product. And that's where, that's what we believe. So anything that we do is more based on what the consumer wants, more user-generated content, and being able to make the information that we are giving out is more authentic and relatable. So that's what.
Very true. It has to be relatable, and it says it all. Kamaljeet, you have a business where interest rates and many more other experiences are going to connect with the customer. I'm sure you have 1,000 stories to share, because I think all of us have tasted this thing called home loans. So you have a very, I think, it's a product present everywhere and with huge competition. So would you agree that human touch has become really important?
Yeah, hi. The category and space where we cater to, my founder, Atul Monga, he always, out of just a laughing, I would say, anti-note, that a marriage can last a little, the home loan will definitely last a little longer than marriage in these days. Yeah. So if you've taken a home loan, be very, very serious, because the commitment is going to be very, very long.
Obviously, we have to work from home, so,
Yeah. And the category and space we are in, you were talking about marketing communication. See, consumers do come to us. So we are a platform. What we do, we help the lenders connect to the right borrowers, the first-time borrowers, and the people who are looking for home loans. or maybe loan against property, and we have a tie-up with 100 plus lenders at the back end. So based on the financial profile and the property profile, we recommend the best option to the consumer. Now, the only advertisement which the consumer sees in the mind, on the television or on the ATL is that my CIBIL score is good, I can get a loan from anywhere. That's all the financial institutions do teach us every time. That's not the only case. Beyond a financial profile, especially in case of a home loan, you need to have, property, whichever property you are buying plays a very important role that which bank or an NBFC will actually fund you, how much loan will you get. The consumer doesn't understand that. Consumer just needs a loan. He has seen an advertisement that the home loans, the repo rate has gone down and the home loan is now 7.6. But there is a star mark below there, right? Nobody goes through the terms and conditions. So onto us, when consumers comes to us for their particular requirement, we have to tell them, guide them. That's what we do, and we don't charge anything from the consumer, and that makes the consumer even more suspicious. You're not charging anything from me. Why are you doing this for me? So whatever communication, whatever messaging, whatever PR or branding or anything which we do, but the consumer has their own set of questions which they come with. And like we were talking, consumer is not today consuming the content which we are pushing to them. That's, I think, a misconception which we all marketers do have. Consumers are going through the reviews, which we didn't publish. Consumers are going through those ratings on which we don't have any control, right? The only control which we have is that the kind of service which we deliver to the consumer who comes to us and he gives us a good rating or a good comment on the social media platforms. So mix of it, yes. Brands do, the concept is totally evolving. The requirements of consumers is totally evolving. Brands try to, trying to figure out newer and newer ways, more conversational content today, rather than, what do we call it? It used to be a blanket messaging or anything which is not working these days. We have bots and chat bots and WhatsApps wherein the consumers can come, consume the content at their own will, right? And that is, that makes the brands essential that you have to be present almost everywhere where the consumer can find you. It could be a podcast, it could be an influencer, it could be social media, it could be everywhere.
I think that's a very, very important point, a very relevant point in an age as of 2025 when, if we compare it with, let's say, whatever was there in 2005 or before that, even getting an ad published was a huge thing. Getting a film made was a huge thing. Advertisement was a great thing. And suddenly now that everything is easy, you can publish an advertising on a click of a button, etc., etc. When everything is so accessible, suddenly the very meaning of communication is changing because it's not enough. The expectation set have changed. The whole marketplace has changed. There's so much communication happening. There's so much advertising happening. And still we can't please the consumers enough. Like a few examples you said, that it's just not, people might even worry and ask you questions if you're giving them something without a commission or without on a transparent basis. Like other day I was reading somewhere, the transparency is something that the other person thinks कि मेरे को जितना चाहिए था जानना था वो मैंने जान लिया. All that I wanted to know, you have told me, is transparency. So, it has different meaning for different people in different situations. So that's interesting. Like we said, relevance, human touch, and something more than just talk, something more than just talking about your product or your message have really become important. All these things have become very important. Now, I also want to touch upon one thing. I mean, there are so many trends. All of us, I'm sure, you open your LinkedIn, open your WhatsApp, and there are 20 trends in marketing. You must have all read. You're all marketing veterans yourself. But I really want to touch upon one more thing, which I think I'm even open to audience for comments on that. How are lines blurring between different things as we call departments like PR department, communications department, marketing department, brand expert, digital marketing department is separate, marketing is separate, and etc., etc. There's never-ending list of things that we all like to set up in our offices, and then we budget them accordingly. Is that all blurring, Mansi? Because you deal with a lot of different kinds of clients, I'm sure, in your business. And I'm sure you have a long-term attachment with them because of your category growing expertise. Is it really blurring, and how to respond to that?
Yes. Mehraj, for us, it is all about integrated communication. It's not about the different departments at all. So anything that we do, I think it is more that you can amplify the reach through online and offline events, and that could be through PR, social media, internal communications. All has to be synchronized together. It's not like you do a retail promotion, the trade is involved. It's just not PR only. The trade is involved, the consumer, while he's doing sampling, like chef demonstration, we are doing, it's more experiential also. So there are a lot of things that come together over here. So it's a chef demo, nutritionists talking about the health benefits, and consumers are doing tasting. Then we have PR, we have social media. So everything needs to be synchronized together. And it's just not one department. You cannot, to build a category or to work on, having a campaign put together, you have to work on a holistic point.
Anything on that, Kamal?
Yeah, sure. See, Mehraj, definitely lines are blurring. Customer doesn't understand the difference between a brand marketing and a performance marketing. For them, ad is an ad. They've seen it, what you have spoken, whether in on a creative or in a press release or a news article or a standalone story or authored or anything. They've read it about you, they think that you are the only one who's talking about it, right? Even if somebody else has written about you, for them, this is the brand. And whatever, when they come to you, they come with a certain expectation. And anything which dents that expectation, that goes against the brand. With the social media being there everywhere, today, okay, I'll rate you, I'll put it on social media. Everybody's scared. You should not write about me on social media. I'm sure all the marketers out here. And with the D2C brands, it becomes even more important. We have hundreds and thousands of customers out there, and you don't know what your internal consumers like, your own sales reps, what are they talking to the consumer. You can have trainings, you can have everything in place, but you don't know what kind of a mood that sales guy was in when they talked to that person, and what did they communicate. Did they say yes to everything, or the context was different, but the consumer has taken a note of it, he will stick by it. And you have to abide by what the consumer says at the end. It's difficult, it becomes at times difficult to explain to the consumer also your policies, your processes. They have this.
I mean, simply put, all of us have had a situation where we, in a hotel room, we're unhappy and we call someone and say, no, sir, ye to fala housekeeping karke dega, or, maybe the front desk will do it for you. I think that's most damaging to a brand. Anyone, I'm giving a very, very simplified example, but I think all of us deal with these complex things, and like Kamal and Mansi mentioned in their businesses, it's expectation set is different with different customers, and they don't care which department goofed up. I mean, gone are those days where you can goof up with quality of your product and suddenly ask your PR guys, so to say, or PR department, so to say, to handle that. How much can they really handle it without, maybe they can reduce the damage a little bit.